you for tuning into this Sunday afternoon 2K Sports edition of the NBA. I'm Kevin Harlan along with Stan Van Gundy and Greg Anthony. On the sidelines, it's David Aldridge. Now we get a chance to check out some stats for him.
In the last 5 games, you can see the trend upwards for effective field goal percentage, and it shows you how confident he's playing right now.
Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup. Buzelis out there with Josh Giddey. Then it's Ball, and it's Vucevic, and it's White in at the 2 spot. And for the Hawks, we've got Daniels, also young out there. Reza Shea is out there with Okongwu. And Gay is in at the power forward position. There should be plenty of action down in the painted area tonight, Greg, with the big man matchup in this one.
Yeah, I love to see skilled bigs dueling down low. Kind of a throwback in some ways, but there's still plenty of physicality in the modern game.
Now, here is Young. 2 points. That one goes.
Well, such a creative finisher. Young will find a way, even with the defender all over him.
And it's Ball penetrating. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Once he gets in deep on the defense, there is no way he's missing a layup like that.
And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's going to go on Buzelis. And with this era of the Atlanta Hawks, Greg, they've gone as far as their defense has let them.
You look back at their conference finals run in 21, that was the last time they had a top 10 defense. So scoring's never been the issue with this core, but defense has been non-existent.
And he makes the first.
Yeah, well, sometimes Trae Young can seem a little temperamental, but that really just speaks to his passion, and you can't teach that.
He hits both from the stripe.
I'm sure they don't want to send him to the line. That has to be in their scouting report.
Ball, the pass to Vucevic. Pass to Giddey. Back to Vucevic. And Vucevic throws it down.
Yeah, just powerful stuff from Vucevic.
First quarter of play, 1 minute played. Here's Gay, coming in off a 10-point performance last game out. There's Ball with the 3. Rebound, Atlanta. They're coming off that win against Philadelphia.
And a lot of that was game plan, putting guys in a position to succeed, particularly on the offensive end.
And that was the kind of win a coach takes pride in. You lay out the strategy, and the players execute perfectly. Not really what we expected. You know he wants that one back.
Fires from the line. The shot by Buzelis, no good.
When the defense is playing off you like that, you want to be able to convert, but that time he just couldn't get it done.
Young against Ball. 3-pointer. And Trae Young hits from deep. Young's got 7.
Well, he's lights out when he has space. Trae Young, one of the best shooters in the league.
To the inside. Here's Vucevic. Okongwu grabs the board.
Well, the defense was right where they needed to be to stop the layup. Great awareness and effort.
Daniels kicks to Young. Okongwu with a screen on Ball. Young's shot is good. Bulls have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. White finds Giddey. Good on the shot.
Well, Giddey loves to finish strong inside, and he knows how to take advantage of his size.
Pass to Gay. Back to Young. Latrey. Rebound by the Bulls. And in this first quarter, about 3 minutes played. Here's Giddey. Vucevic setting the pick for Giddey. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
And how about the body control? Giddey refusing to let the defense alter that shot.
Pass to Daniels. First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. Here's Young, beyond the arc. Buzelis grabs the board. Here's Ball. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And Stan, a positive for the Bulls over the last couple seasons. They've really done a good job of taking care of the ball.
Yeah, Kevin, that's been an emphasis for them. You don't want to beat yourself. So you look up and down the roster, it's a pretty disciplined group, but it's also the kind of thing that can change from year to year.
Ties it up, and this next one could give them the lead. Greg, since making it to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2021, the Atlanta Hawks haven't been that good.
And it was hard to tell if that was a Cinderella run at the time, but Kevin, looking like that might have been the outlier. The Hawks took some risks to get back there, but it just hasn't worked.
And that one falls, and that puts them up by 1 point. Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. It's LeVert on the wing. And the rejection by Smith. In transition, here come the Bulls. It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Kevin, thanks. I asked Quinn Snyder what he enjoys most about coaching, and the Hawks coach said the opportunity to compete in such an intense way. Also, the tactics of the game and the intellectual part of player development. It's rewarding to see and have a part in someone's growth and improvement. Kevin?
David, that's coaching, right? Growth and development. A mind for the game, for sure. I've always respected Coach Snyder. White against LeVert. We've got 33 seconds left here in the opening quarter. White the pass to Smith. Now here's Herter. 4 on the clock. Smith sets the pick for Herter. An absolute bomb from 3-point range. Herter's got 5 now. LeVert against White. Now here's LeVert. Defense right on him. Shoots it up. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Bulls ahead. They're up by 4. We'll be back shortly live from State Farm Arena. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And guys, what's your take on the Bulls so far?
Well, they've been aggressive from the beginning, particularly on the offensive end.
Yeah, and that's helped them get the lead. But we'll have to see if they can sustain this offensive output.
Chicago with the ball. 4-point game. They've got Reza Shea. Also, George Niang is out there. And it's LeVert in at the 2-guard. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Hawks. Now here's Giddey. Oh, that's blocked. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will retain possession. Let's take a second look at that fantastic block.
And that is a huge block. Given how close this game is, a stop like that was right on point.
Shot on the wing. Good. Great play by Williams to set it up. Giddey's got the lead up to 6 now for the Bulls. Stan, I've always admired you come from a coaching family. Was there a point growing up you knew you wanted to be a coach?
Yeah, look, I loved being around the game, and so two things happened that drove me into coaching. Number one, I loved baseball, and I couldn't hit one, so that was out. And I wasn't a good enough basketball player to go on that way, so if I wanted to stay involved in the game, that's when I knew I wanted to be a coach.
But your dad had a little bit of that in his background. I say in a little kind of tongue-in-cheek, right? He was a guy that led the way in your interest there.
Yeah, my dad coached for over 40 years, and I think he had a great passion for it and always used to tell us that he never actually felt like he worked a day in his life. He loved it so much.
Following in his footsteps, terrific story. And timeout is called by Quinn Snyder. And coach has decided they need a moment to talk things over.
If you see yourself with a big screen, then you know what to do. Show us your move. Let's see it. Take it.
And looking at the real stats, real scores from the real NBA, we can see the teams that make the most of their trips to the foul line. The Bulls third.
You know, it's really a team-wide talent. You want a foul to stop layups, but against them, you're not saving much. They'll make you pay time and again.
Here in the second quarter with a little over a minute gone. So, Stan, let me take you back to the 95-96 NBA season. It was your first year as an NBA assistant. And, of course, the Bulls winning 72 games in that season. Unbelievable.
They were incredible, but one of my great memories in that season, the day of the trade deadline, we sent out 5 guys, brought in 5 new guys. We had to play the Bulls that night. Only one of those players made it in. We had only 8 guys available, some guys who had hardly played for us. Rex Chapman had an unbelievable game, and we beat Michael Jordan's Bulls on that night.
Oh, what a great story. And the dunk by Richeche.
And how about the recognition there from LeVert? The coaching staff will appreciate that kind of ball movement.
Williams looking around. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. You know, Stan, I've always thought that your path, kind of like Billy Donovan's, going from the college game to the pro game, both enjoying success, very, very similar paths.
Except for one thing, Kevin. Billy could actually play. I couldn't. So, you know.
Well, you're not being fair to yourself now. Come on.
Billy was a great college player, and I think, Kevin, Billy Donovan's the most underrated coach in the NBA. This guy's a surefire Hall of Famer, back-to-back national titles in college, and then you look at the consistent success he has had in the NBA with teams. This guy is as good as anyone in the country, heck, anyone in the world coaching basketball.
Well said. And so he makes both from the line.
And that's a spot of the floor Giddey wants to improve. He certainly puts in the work there to get better.
It's Young on the wing. He's covered by Ball. And out of bounds is Chicago gains possession. Right now, let's check out the standings in the Eastern Conference and see how the playoff race is shaping up. To take a look at the Hawks, they're holding the edge for the last playoff slot. I am sure they'd feel better if they could jump up a couple rankings. And, of course, the Bulls, right on their heels and with their sights set on gaining ground.
And, you know, right now for Atlanta, they had much bigger things in mind when the season started.
They didn't think of themselves as a middle-of-the-road club, but right now, that's where they are.
Yeah, they wanted to accomplish more this season, but things haven't quite worked out. Some bad breaks along the way.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Ball against Young. Screen by Niang. Jacks up a three, and Trae Young hits from deep. Young's got 12 in the game.
And they're shooting really well from long range this quarter. They should keep looking to the three-point shot for some extra offense.
Ball dishes to Vucevic. Pass to Giddey. Out to White. Ball against Young. Floats one up. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And the NBA, right or wrong, Stan, has been called a copycat league before. If something works, it catches on quick. Is that a fair statement?
Well, I think it is to some degree, Kevin. Certainly, we all watch each other and learn from each other, and you're always looking to see what someone else does in their system that would fit into what you do, but you can never fully copy another team because the personnel is different.
Yeah, every roster's different, isn't it? And you've got to tailor things you want to do with what you've got.
That's exactly right. So if my personnel's not the same as yours, I might be able to take a little bit of what you do, but I can't take it wholesale.
Smith checked in for the Bulls. Ball hits them both.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
Ball against Young. Pass to Gay. 1:29 left in the first half. Young against Ball. Just 3 to shoot. Pulls from the top of the key. The shot by Okongwu, no good.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Well, it's a three-point shooting league. Guys like him are so important for spacing.
And here is Okongwu following Lonzo Ball's three. Young against Ball. A three ball. Rebound by Smith. Here's Chicago. They're on a 13-5 run. And White kicks to Ball. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Ball's got the lead up to 13 now for the Bulls.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
And here's Young from the arc. And here's White. He'll bring it up for Chicago. This is the most they've led by 13 points. Ball feeling it out a bit. Here's Vucevic. The fadeaway J off the mark. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. Bulls lead by 13. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, guys. With Quinn Snyder, Coach, they came at you offensively, so what has to change for you defensively?
Well, a lot, obviously, with everybody on the floor. They're capable of doing this, but we're not. It's just too easy.
Got to tighten things up as we go along. Thanks for your time. Back to you guys.
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
Good to have you with us. With the season in its latter portion, let's look at the Eastern Conference playoff race.
Looking at the Bulls, they've clearly taken a step back as a franchise. You hate to see that. Something isn't right with this team. I don't know if it's personnel, the coaching. Gonna have to make some changes in the offseason.
Switching back to that first half of action, everything's been working for the Bulls.
They're playing the way they're supposed to. Run the offense until you get a good look. Not complicated at all.
I disagree. Patience and perspective is complicated. That's why many teams can't do it.
And that concludes halftime. Now time to send it over to Kevin Harlan as the game's about to resume.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next two quarters are any different from the first two. So far, it has been a runaway. You have to like what you're seeing, guys, from Josh Giddey.
Yeah, and just look at the numbers from the first half. He has been very efficient.
Yeah, it's not like he's getting everything at the rim. He's playing smart and just taking what the defense gives him.
The Bulls leading by 13. What a unique resume for Coach Quinn Snyder. Stan, he's coached in college. He's been overseas as a head coach. He's been in the G League, and now he is back in the NBA.
Yeah, and this guy's just a great coach. He's had teams that perform well at both ends of the floor. He's won everywhere he's been, and he's the only NBA coach I know of that's got a law degree on top of it.
So he's smart and he can coach. Oh, and by the way, he had a pretty good mentor in college, didn't he?
He certainly did.
And on the floor for Billy Donovan as we get into the second half. We've got Buzelis. White is out there with Lonzo Ball. Then it's Josh Giddey. And it's Vucevic in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Now here's Ball. After the miss from Trae Young. 5 on the clock, doubled by Okongwu. Three-pointer. And Ball is good for 3. Ball's got 14 points.
And I tell you what, Ball has proven to be a threat to score whenever he has it. When he's feeling it, boy, the D is going to be in for a long night.
With a short break in the action, gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Kevin, Kobe White became one of the top candidates last season for Most Improved Player. He says, I always tried to just let the work show. I wanted to prove that I could be a starting guard in this league. I've just got to continue to get better every day, be aggressive, and be who I am. Kevin, back to you.
All right, D.A., love that attitude. And a look here at the scoring trend over the last several months for Josh Giddey.
And it's really been a nice trend for him over these last several months. He's been steadily improving in terms of his scoring output. That extra production making him more valuable the further we get along in this season.
And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third. Stolen by Ball. Jumps up. And Ball slams it in.
And really an outstanding combination of length and athleticism. Ball is the perfect guy to take it coast to coast.
Daniels with it. White covering. They set the pick. Pass to Gay. Five to shoot. Shot, high post. And he nails the jumper. Reza Shea's got 7 points.
Well, with his skill and confidence with the ball, if you put him in position, he'll reward you.
And Reza Shea, the prototypical size and skill for a wingman.
Yeah, he's got some jelly to his game. Handle, touch. At his size, that becomes very tough to contain.
Now, here is Young. He's got 12. Count that one.
Well, this offense has some serious firepower when Young's making moves off the dribble.
Ball, the pass to Vucevic. Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. Buzelis, no one around him. No good with the triple.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Stan, isn't it terrific? We're seeing these great stars in the NBA extending their careers more than ever before.
We certainly are, Kevin, and it's great for the league. The league keeps getting younger, though. These guys come into the league earlier. But I think what players have learned, it's not even just the basketball part. It's the strength and conditioning. It's the nutrition. They've taken care of themselves better, and that allows them to last longer.
Hey, Coach, one area the Bulls can struggle with, defending the outside shot.
Yeah, Kevin, they've been very poor the last few seasons on that front. Not closing out, missing assignments. It's strange because they were once elite in that regard under Donovan.
Both good from the line that time. Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. Pass to Smith. Back to Giddey. Vucevic against Okongwu. Okongwu grabs the board. The Hawks trail by 12. Stolen by Ball. And now the Bulls on the break. White wide open. He fires. And good. Got the English that time as it falls.
Laser focus from White. The moment that pass was headed to him, he was ready.
To the middle. Here's Gay. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
Putting that pass right in his stride. Didn't have to slow up and was able to complete the play.
Giddey sets the pick for Vucevic. Right wing. Ball kicks to Giddey. Clock at 4. Lets the 3 fly. Gay with the rebound. Gay has got 4 rebounds now tonight. White against LeVert. Pass to Gay. It's LeVert on the wing. White covering, and it's LeVert missing.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backboard. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game.
And the officials calling for a 3-second violation. So both teams making some changes here. The Hawks trail by 12. 29 seconds left in the third quarter. And the layup's good off the glass. LeVert's got his second bucket.
I'll tell you, they're right in this. We'll see if they can maintain momentum.
Yeah, taking away the lead is never easy, but a rally like this is how you do it.
Here's White. Got it! Oh!
Amazing! Perfect timing there.
And give him credit. Good awareness of the time remaining.
Yeah, really a perfect way to finish that quarter on a strong, positive note.
Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. It's Chicago up by 12. And we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us. Let's take a listen to a recent huddle from Coach Billy Donovan.
Hold your ground. Don't let him back your way in. Just hold your ground. The other thing, too, is once he picks the ball up, he's not going to shoot it. If he does, just stay down on him.
I like the way the Donovan's conveying that scouting report to his guys.
I mean, knowing how your opponent plays is important, and I think he's on point on this one.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. They've got Karis LeVert. Also, Terrence Mann is out there. And it's Barlow in at the 5 down low. So that's the lineup for Atlanta.
The D just kind of stepping aside and letting him get to the rim.
There's a reason, GA, the lead is what it is right now.
Well, that's too easy. As he says, let me add to my highlight reel.
Here's Mann after Chicago picking up a basket just moments ago. Shot clock at 5. Fires from way outside. Rebound by Williams.
And when you are as good a shooter as he is, you have to have the confidence to take that shot. It might not always fall.
Yeah, it's one of those heat check shots, and heat check is a synonym for bad shot.
Collins. That's good, and so Giddey with the assist. Collins has got his first points of the game. And so LeVert will bring it up for Atlanta. And timeout is called by Quinn Snyder. He's not taking any chances. It wants to huddle him up right away.
It's your high squad. Get back and let them hear you. Who wants a teacher?
He's checked in for the Hawks. And Chicago also making a switch. Ball's checked in. LeVert. Count it.
And got to push LeVert out of that area because he's very comfortable looking to score from there.
The Bulls leading by 14. Ball, the pass to Collins. Back to Ball. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's on Karis LeVert.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
And a look at how the hustle game has been going for Chicago.
Well, look, you have to be able to count on energy and effort every night, and they're showing a lot of it with their transition buckets.
And not just that, they're also forcing turnovers at a high rate and taking advantage in transition.
And that one misses. And the league limiting players from making public trade demands, which I guess makes sense. That's a big change from the past, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it saves franchises from being put in a tough spot, keeps a player's trade value high, which helps the team they're leaving.
And the Hawks with a completely new group on the floor. He hits the second from the line. Just over a minute and a half played here in the fourth. Pass to Gay. Young against Ball. It's Young on the wing. 6 to shoot. Over Ball. Young's shot is off.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Pass to Buzelis. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. And great for Buzelis. Basketball has been a part of his family for generations.
Yeah, how about that? Both his parents played professionally in Lithuania, as did both of his grandfathers. And his dad now works for the Lithuanian men's national team as a physiotherapist.
And he knocks down the first one. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Here's Young. Pass to Daniels. Now, here is Young. Back to Daniels. Okongwu with a screen on White. Here's Daniels. Okongwu dishes to Daniels.
Well, I like the activity of Daniels there.
His first, team's first. Dyson Daniels. 2 shots.
And the first one drops.
You can call Dyson Daniels a 6'8" point guard. He is great handling the ball, and let me tell you, few better defenders than Daniels in the league.
So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Vucevic against Okongwu. Giddey the pass to Vucevic. And Vucevic throws it down.
And using every bit of that large frame for the exclamation point, Vucevic a force around the rim.
Now, here's Okongwu. Pass to Rizichet. Young looking around. Knocks down the 3 ball.
Yeah, and we've come to expect this from Young. He fills it up in so many different ways.
Here's Giddey. And here's Vucevic. Moves back up. That's good, and so Giddey with the assist. Giddey's got 6 assists now in the game. Now a timeout called by Atlanta. 1:43 left in the fourth quarter. And now a moment to present the New Balance Player of the Game, Lonzo Ball.
And his percentage from the field tonight seemed almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
It's just too bad they're on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. It would have been nice for him to have a chance to perform like this in the postseason. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Down low, here's Young. Hits that one through the hole, make him now 7 of 13 in this game.
And giving up some inches inside, but makes up for it with an aggressive style.
Yeah, you got to love that kind of effort. Getting in there and fighting through the defense.
Now here's White. 1:21 left to play in the final quarter. Off target with his three. The Hawks trail by 15.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority. Very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for the Bulls.
They simply ran him off the court.
They set the pace, and their transition game was executed flawlessly.
And this will push their record to 39 wins in a good effort tonight. The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Lonzo Ball.
Well, he was the catalyst for them tonight. Played a great all-around game, and you could see his teammates feeding off his energy.
They just blocked out the noise, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
It is always a special feeling winning on the road. The degree of difficulty adding to that sense of accomplishment.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Giddey kicks to Vucevic. Pass to White. White setting the pig for Ball. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Takes a shot at the elbow. Rebounded by the Hawks. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road, but they didn't have too many problems with that tonight.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks a lot. Nick, how did you guys get this win tonight?
We were really good on defense, and then once we get stops, we're very good on offense. We got some easy ones, and we just kept grinding, We never let it back in the game, and it felt good to get this one tonight.
Great performance by you guys, Nick. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Stan Van Gundy, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for being with us tonight on 2K Sports. And now we present the player of the game, Lonzo Ball.